Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and today it's time for another episode of Oxygen Not Included in the Ultimate Base 3.0. We have started colonizing the third planetoid, the printing pod is ready and I decided we're gonna take on another duplicant named Hassan. He comes with suit wearing and operating, both of which he's gonna need if he's going on another planetoid. He's also got the exosuit training skill, wonderful. A little bit of decreased food morale bonus and some allergies, both of which we can deal with. So before we go ahead and actually accept Hassan, let's make sure he's got a place to sleep. At the moment the dynamic duo is on its way back, so I'm just gonna make sure we have an additional bed and maybe also mess table. What is today's episode going to be about? Well, I basically want to go ahead and send a robot army to this planetoid. I noticed that there are no tiles, or well, not many tiles that actually require the duplicants. So we can essentially do a whole bunch of preparation, and if we check out what the planetoid contains, we have some saltwater geyser, carbon dioxide, a gold volcano, aluminium volcano. The gold volcano is actually really useful. We also have a hydrogen vent and a natural gas geyser, both of which we could utilize to gain power. Moreover, we have radioactive biomes. Maybe we can finally take advantage of the bees. Yeah, I would say that's going to be fairly interesting. At the moment, I'm just using my robot to take apart the terrain. We don't need any more. Let's actually wait for this guy to be done here. And now we just keep on disassembling the terrain and maybe already get some basic infrastructure for Hassan going. Alright then, let's freaking do this. Hassan, please be printed. Thank you. And there he is. Welcome to the tribe. Let's check out his skills. I guess before or after sending him to the new planetoid, I'm gonna skill scrub him at least once. We're gonna go into advanced research, so he's going to learn the machinery and athletic skills that much faster. And I think I want to give him the exosuit training hat. Also, we need to put him into that specific schedule. It's the training schedule here. Hassan, that is going to be your schedule. Also, we need to make sure he gains access to this room. So instead of Liam, it should be Hassan gaining access to the room. And then I also want to reset Hassan's priorities. Is that possible? No. And I just want to prioritize operating for the time being, so he's actually gonna take that job with the manual generator that is also at a higher priority. The dynamic duo is gonna be back any second. Let's just wait for them. Come on, boots, 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 boots. Oh, I can hear it. There it is. Wonderful. Just in the nick of time. Let's make sure this rocket gets grounded. Also, we want to re-equip the Atmos suits, Gossman and Turner. Last but not least, we want to expel the food and bring it back to the base. That should be fine, and then we can make some modifications to the rocket. For instance, we could go ahead and exchange the trailblazing modules with more rover modules. So if we go ahead and swap this for a rover module, and we do the same thing here, swap this for another, where is it? Yeah, there, another rover module. And then maybe if we removed the ladders here on the top, we could even set up another one instead of the battery. Or maybe not instead of the battery, but instead of the solar panels. Because if we are moving with the steam engine, then we are gonna produce enough power. So let's go ahead and remove these two modules. And that might just give us the 3 necessary spaces in order to add another rover module. Let's see if that is the case. Yes, look at that. Oh my gosh, this is actually great. 4 rovers in one go. I love that idea, except that the oxygen now doesn't route correctly anymore. So we'll kind of have to fix that. My goal is going to be to excavate as much of the terrain as possible on this planetoid. We're not actually going to preserve the little oxygen that is here on this planetoid. It was useful to actually make Gossman survive, you know? But my intention is to land with a rocket here that is going to be able to sustain the duplicants for a couple of days so they can start kicking things in motion in terms of oxygen. So they're basically going to live on the rocket module and spend their evening/nights there. At least for a couple of cycles until it is safe to go into the base. Also, before I forget, 60 kilograms of steam. That means we need 90 more, please. I can easily do that with my system here in the cellar. There's maybe another thing we can do. Just switch on this sensor for a little bit so we get some fresh water in the joint and keep the steam at a very high pressure. I just wanted to add more hydroponic farms, but I really believe we just have enough food at this point. And there we go, we're slowly making our way down. However, I would like to do this not with only one robot, but with 5 or maybe even more. So back to the main planetoid we go. Are we already ready? Has this filled up? Not quite, but seems the steam has at least arrived. And I think this time around I'm not gonna send Gossman and Turner, they deserved kind of a break. We do have Ellie, right, who is also a rocket pilot. So if we go ahead, store some more gristleberry in this refrigerator again. Actually, we could do a bit less. Let's do 7 kilograms or so. And then the oxygen has also filled up. Yeah, that's good. We can go on a round trip, just deploying a bunch of rovers. We want to set a destination. We only really need to go into orbit. We are gonna switch this to crew and begin the launch sequence. Alrighty, we are totally ready for this. 4 more robots coming up, thank you very much. Let's make sure Ellie loses the suit right away. And then there she goes. Already taking a break, because why wouldn't you? By now I think we have stopped sending water over. So this should now be a red signal, and only if we use it up, which at the moment we actually do not. There's nowhere it can go. But of course we will be using it up as soon as we install the oil wells. On this planetoid I still haven't finished the transit tube that actually goes down into the cellar, and that is, well, something we have to fix. So maybe in the spirit of by now having enough slime, we are actually gonna disable that, yeah, and go into manufactured materials, bring over some more plastic. We do have 127 tons here on this planetoid. Looks like we have arrived in orbit. Let's deploy the first rover. And I think I'm gonna do at least one more over here. And we might just have to wait for that. Oh my gosh, I just love the animations of this game. Everything is so funny and cute. And then we're probably gonna do 2 rovers over here. Yes, I love it. Where are you going? Wait, I need to give them something to do. First of all, deconstruct that capsule. And after that, you can start dismantling the terrain. You are gonna take everything apart. Also, let me see what stuff I cannot dig. Yeah, we can theoretically just dig around the granite. But then I also might want to preserve the water we currently have going on. Maybe we're just gonna funnel it down here. I think that might be a good solution. Yeah, I think it's gonna be good if it just drops down here, and then we can maybe make a little water chamber there. Honestly, I kind of would like to see it further down. So I'm just gonna break this open and we're gonna keep on digging, right? Yeah, this is so cool. We can do everything with the robots. Yeah, you know what? Just screw the water. We now have a water delivery system that is much more practical than actually dealing with that liquid. I'm just gonna let it accumulate at the bottom and then we're gonna deal with it later. We still have a rover, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, one more that we could deploy, and I think I'm gonna get one started over here. All right, look at that. Also poke shells. And there is a little something here. Intriguing. Okay, let's get started dismantling the terrain here as well. Except these tiles apparently. And then we just keep going with that. I guess now we can return the rocket. Yeah, beautiful. Change that. Go back to the landing pad. And that will have been a successful mission, I would say. Yeah, I'm really curious how this planetoid is gonna look by the end of the episode. I'm still gonna try to fill up another rocket with rovers, and then that should be enough. It goes quickly. I must be a little bit careful to always give them something to do. They can dig up 4 tiles just like duplicants, so that is going to be our only limitation. But if I can, I would like to avoid building ladders all over the place. And I'm not showing you much of the progress, but in the meantime on Crewdale I'm just gonna keep working on everything. And then in a future episode we're gonna attend to actually building all the oil wells and get that production going as well. But just note that this project isn't paused, it just takes a while because, well, Liam is alone. I could send him some help. Maybe I'm actually going to do that in the form of rovers. I'm kind of fond of that idea now. So there we go. We can dig another 4 tiles, though we need to be careful about some spots. Maybe here we cannot really avoid placing ladders. Well, what are you going to do? Actually, I will not have to place ladders because the robot is just going to fall down eventually. Yeah, well, you look at that. You just have to babysit it a little bit and then you're going to be fine. I'm just gonna go ahead and dig around all the volcanoes and everything. I'm suspecting this is gonna be the cool slush geyser because it is so close to the top. Wait a second. I think we have landed. Oh, did we already switch? I don't think so. Yeah, this needs to be... No, actually it changed to grounded again. That's good, but we have to remove the food at least. and then somebody has to sweep up the suit. Okay, maybe that wasn't the smoothest arrival. We have to make sure the suit is going somewhere. I'm just gonna deliver it. Great stuff. Let's make sure we fill up the rocket again. It still has 90 kilograms of steam. So you can take another 60 kilogram and there we go. This is so easy. Steam has become much more viable. I remember it to be a pain in the butt contrary to other rockets. Are we sending plastic by now? Looks like it. And also the system over here was now dormant. Well, not really dormant, but we should have accumulated a bunch of wrap bolts. 182 in here, 38 in the center one, and 47 in the left one. You also mentioned that I'm an idiot, and I kind of agree, because what we could do is shoot the bolts diagonally, and that would just make it 1,000 times easier. Oh man, I mean, the system is now working the way it is, but realizing that the solution is that much simpler kind of bothers me. What we could do is take these apart, build them one more block up, and then go diagonally up. And I just don't know. I never used the diagonal direction, so I didn't think of it. But that would be better, and if I make that change, I'm gonna do it off camera, because we dedicated enough screen time to this problem. Okay, looks like my rovers are ready again. We're just waiting for the steam to arrive, and then we're gonna take another trip. Let's make sure we have something to do for the rovers. We can now take on the next layer. Yeah, we're just... wow, this is gonna be done in freaking no time. I'm gonna take apart the bathroom and everything here. We are gonna build our own. I do respect what the ancients did here, but let's just say it's not for me. Yes, take everything apart here. We do not need that anymore. Or the rover slander, we don't need those either. And, oh no, I actually messed this up. We do have some more igneous rock, so we can reach this. By now, this should be filled up. Yes, indeed. So we're gonna do the same thing. Fill up the fridge with a little bit of grizzleberry, and then we can get that flight started. So Ellie is gonna go right back into space. Crew, and begin launch sequence. Yes. This is gonna be great. I mean, we are already quite far. Look at this. We are demolishing this freaking planetoid. And there we go. There's actually the saltwater geyser. This might be a little bit hot. Yeah, we should probably contain this. Okay, I have to say, this goes incredibly quickly. I wish we could do this with every planetoid, but the limitations are clear. There is the gold volcano, by the way, and I don't know what this is, but there is the carbon dioxide geyser. So overall, a very interesting planetoid, and we'll be getting many useful materials out of it, I would say, especially the gold. Right, I think the rocket actually arrived, and we can deploy a couple more rovers. Wonderful. Let's do one over here. Oh, jeez. Deconstruct the lander right away and deploy another one. The game slowly starts to lag now. We need to get this under control. Rover, what's going on? There we go. Welcome, buddy. And deconstruct the module. Another rover will go here if I can. Yes. And deconstruct. And finally, there is a fourth one. I'm gonna set down. Let's see. I guess we can do one more here. And with that out of the way, we now have a total of 9 rovers, though the first one probably ran out of power. Not abandon ship. We just want to fly back, that's all. Okay, and now we can keep on demolishing this planetoid. Holy cow. Maybe something we can quickly prepare is encasing this, though they cannot do that. I think in this case we're just gonna encase it with igneous rock and exchange it later on. This way it's gonna overpressure really soon. Whoops, I actually managed to trap a couple of rovers. No problem. I mean, I have to babysit it, but it does go really quickly. And look at this, it's just beautiful. It's so funny that bleachstone actually requires a skill to dig up. I never knew that. It's such a chaos, it's unbelievable. I don't even know what's going on anymore. I'm also gonna go ahead and encase this building here, though we have to be a little bit creative and then maybe set up a ladder here and there so we can hop over. No, actually, that's not gonna be possible because we cannot dig this tile. In this case, we're just gonna close it off here and forget this ever happened. Make a ladder there. Yeah, it's not going to be extremely clean, especially in these regions. Too many tiles we cannot dig, but still fun. And we can dig through the entirety of this biome, that's for sure. Discover whatever the heck this is. Oh, it's an aluminium volcano. Those are actually in a pretty good spot, but at the same time they are in a bad spot. When we think about the radioactive biome. Got a whole bunch of robots trapped here. How much charge do we even have left here? Idle. Come on. Come on. Let's just dig everything up and solve it with ladders. It's just too confusing otherwise. Robots, please dig that. Okay. Ah, there's actually our first rover shot down. And fortunately enough, we can deconstruct them. So they're not gonna hang around the base forever. This is good news for Liam. So even if we cannot use the rovers for everything, we can still save Liam a little bit of time digging out the terrain. Yeah, if we build enough ladders, we can also dig through these biomes. However, there's no gap in the abyssalite as far as I can tell. That means my rovers can go as far as taking the gold volcano, maybe exploring or at least revealing the terrain at the bottom. And we might also be able to get somewhat in here, but then we have no other choice than actually sending over a duplicant. Alright then, it is a couple of cycles later and I dug out everything we can actually dig out through the means of robots. Everything else is not accessible either through abyssalite or granite in this case. But we discovered that there is a huge radioactive biome. We definitely have to get into nuclear reactors now and other means of red ball production. And we can actually see some active bees here. Nice. So that is another something we can look into. But I would say this is nicely prepared for Hassan when he actually wants to get here. If we check out the terrain here, this is much more rough. I mean, there is mafic rock, I believe that also requires a skill, and there's just a lot of stuff we cannot actually dig up with the robot. So I'm not even sure if they're gonna be a help. Maybe another duplicant is gonna be the better choice.
You know, it just occurred to me there is one more thing the rovers are capable of doing that would make my duplicants' lives much easier, and that is collecting materials. We can also use that for crew deal. I mean, we have all of these materials we either have to make a system for to deliver to a specific spot, or we just have to sweep them up manually whenever we have the time. However, this could be done by the rover. So essentially my duplicants keep on building the area here while my rovers are just collecting all the materials. You know, I really like that idea, so we're actually gonna launch a couple more rockets. I might do that in the next episode though, we can do that in the background, but we're gonna send more rovers over to both planetoids in order to actually do some resource collection. So one more time, we need 60 kilograms of steam. We should already have that prepared here. Reset, thank you. This is a wonderful idea, I would say. And then what do we do about these guys? I mean, the first chamber now already contains 1,000 rat balls, so does the second one, almost. And the third one is about to be filled up. Let's actually check out this shot. Entombed. Camille is entombed. Okay, we're gonna take care of that in just a second. Yeah, look at that. It got stored in the first one, though right now it is shooting. Is it? We still have a tiny amount left here. Okay, and we just saw an example of wasted rat balls. Now, this is so confusing to me. How do they manage to dig themselves into a tile? I mean, this is so dangerous. What if this happens to someone that is alone on a planetoid? Like, Harold needs to come over here. I think if this would ever happen to a duplicant that is alone on a planetoid, I might just be tempted to cheat, because I don't see a reason this should happen. Actually, maybe if you know the reason this happened, I can avoid it in the future. But if it's just that they stand there and then dig themselves a tile, I just don't get that. That sounds more like a glitch to me. But yeah, basically now we know what is going to be the game plan for our future rovers. We're going to send over some help to Liam. I'm sure he's also going to enjoy the robot company, if you know what I mean. And with that out of the way, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Have a great time and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.